Welcome into Beach and Ball, episode number 2. You haven't gotten rid of us yet. Like I said, I'm one of your hosts. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Lucas. Welcome back, everybody, for our second show, the second of many more.
Yeah, you can't get rid of us yet.
There's a lot more ball to be played, baby.
Yes, there's so much ball. We have, in fact, probably about 6 more months, at least, to ball.
Yeah.
Then we get to the other ball that's played on the beach.
And boy, is it exciting. Already, things are starting to heat up. We've got...
To say the least.
Yeah, we've got a few enemies made. We've got an upset already. Honestly, I didn't think we were going to talk about upsets in our second episode. So
I think that's probably a good time to dive into our first segment, of course, which is the game recaps, the past week of fun in the best conference in the land. That's what some people say. So we might as well start with the big upset last night. UC Irvine, our Anteaters, took down the mighty USC Trojans 70-60. My God, how does that happen?
Yeah, it was incredible, and it was a complete game from them. They were up at halftime. The score I'm looking at right now, at half, they were up 29-26. So
yeah, it's pretty good.
Don't call it a comeback because they, I haven't checked the full lead changes report, but they seem to be pretty handily in control of that game from start to finish, never falling too far behind, leading at half.
So with that said, I'm going to tell you something that I told Lucas earlier, but I learned a hand gesture thanks to the UC Irvine social media account. We're going to learn how to zot right now.
How to what?
How to zot, Z-O-T.
Z-O-T. Okay.
Yes, it is the hand gesture for UC Irvine.
All right.
So what you have to do, you have to stick your hand out.
Does it matter which hand?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Take your ring finger and your middle finger and bring them toward your thumb, which is good. Now slide your thumb back. You got an anteater, brother.
Oh, boy.
We are zotting, brother.
Zotting. I can only imagine once the anteaters get too big, everyone's going to treat that like Texas's horns down, and they're
no, zots down,
zots down, or like eaters down.
Zotum anteaters.
Yeah, call it. Oh, that would be crazy. Zotomatic, like.
Zotomatic.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, they apparently the word zot is the sound that an anteater makes when it's going to attack, ants.
Or Trojans in this case.
Or the only notes I took on this game, Justin Hahn leading the way, 25 points, 4 rebounds. We have a good runner for name of the year for us. We got Bent Lukden, Leuchtdn.
Oh, yeah, Lukden.
Yeah, I guess so. 19 points, 6 rebounds, and a block. And then Devin Tillis, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. UC Irvine's good.
Yes.
Needless to say, they are good.
Yeah, don't let that one loss fool you. They just took a ranked USC from start to finish. And who was their one loss to? I got to check. San Jose State. So maybe San Jose State is really good too. They did come from the Big West. We talked about that last episode. They were one of the charter members.
A traitor, if you will.
Yeah.
I believe they also have a Roman-inspired mascot. Or Greek, I guess. I think they're also... Oh, they're Spartans, so yeah, they're Greek. Big things that are playing in UC Irvine's favor going forward, they have an established starting 5. They have the same starting 5 in all 3 of their games so far. So that type of consistency you like to see from a team this early.
Yeah, a lot of point sharing going on. Trying to look at how are we doing in foul territory. They had one guy, D. Keeler. Name is
D. Keeler, yeah.
Dean Keeler. That's what
Dean
stands
Keeler.
for.
Yeah,
Dean Keeler. He had 4 fouls, but it looked like nobody fouled out. So Good for them keeping the contact to a minimum, at least on the other team. Keeping the other team from the free throw line, and that's what really is going to help them close out these games against big teams. Keeping all their good guys on the floor and not sending any of them to the bench.
Yeah, for a second I thought by D it was going to be like the J and Homer J. Simpson.
Oh yeah.
The other good thing that they have depth, which they are playing 11 players right now, which is probably one of the reasons why they're one of the betting favorites to win the Big West. Because, UC Irvine's good. Nothing more you really can say. They're good. The only thing they're missing right now, they just need to get a little more consistent bench scoring. But other than that, I mean,
right,
they look good. Should we dive into story number 2? Because there hasn't been too many things that have been happening in the conference other than this thing.
Yeah, what we got for story number 2?
We can't beat Portland.
No.
Portland, we stink against Portland.
Yeah. Now, it's not set in stone yet. We have a few more chances. Portland actually plays 3 Big West teams this year, and they've won 2 of those matches. They still got Hawaii coming up in December, so Hawaii's got a chance to get us in the win column against Portland. And Cal Poly has to play Portland State.
Yes,
we talked about last episode. Portland State also got a win against one of our teams. So I think Portland
the city
State
of Portland, we can't win.
Yeah, so currently winless. That stings. Again, I don't know how normal Californians feel about that. If they're like, so in Kentucky, we have a big rivalry with Indiana and Tennessee for different sports. But yeah, no, I can't stand when Indiana teams beat any Kentucky teams. So I can only imagine if Californians feel like the same way against Oregon, or I don't know, correct us, leave us comments on our socials. Do Californians actually hate Oregon as much as I think they do, or is their anger directed at another state? Maybe Nevada.
So this is what I can't get over of watching us lose to freaking Portland over and over again. They beat Long Beach State 78-73. So close game, at least. Portland also beat UC Riverside by 11. Portland State beat Santa Clara by 6. What are we doing? What are we doing? Santa Barbara had a higher field goal percentage, higher 3-point percentage than Portland State, and lost. Long Beach State outshot them in threes, which obviously didn't make too much of a difference because they lost anyway. But
yep,
we got to beat Portland. We got to beat Portland if it's the last thing we do on this.
And we'll go into more depth later in our betting segment. But as you'll recall from last week, we kind of have a friendly game going on. Me and Ryan do between making some picks every week and see who comes out on top. And I took Riverside to beat Portland, and they did not. So I took a big swing and I got a big strike. So we'll talk about that more later. But they cost me a game there.
Yeah, we'll get back into that in a little bit too, which that'll be interesting to come. Only other thing that we have business-wise to talk about are the standings. So right now, UC San Diego leading the way at 3-0.
Yeah, they're really impressive.
Go Tritons. UC, our boys at UC Davis, they're at 3-1.
Yeah, I was sad they took that loss against Montana.
Yeah, took it on the chin up there in wherever Montana plays.
Yeah, they didn't let their losing streak slide into 2. They bounced back right against South Dakota State. That's good. Means that they if you ever watch Ted Lasso in the first season, they talk about having the memory of a goldfish. You know, it only lasts 10 seconds. So all your faults and stuff, you forget about it, you move on. That's what they did. They took their loss, and now they're back in the win column, sitting at 3-1.
And then we got UC Irvine and Cal State Northridge sitting at 2-1 to lead the top of the way in the Conference of Champions.
Yes. Yeah, now that the Pac-12's dead, or almost dead, we're just waiting for them to bleed out. The Big West is now the Conference of Champions.
Yes, so we do have more teams currently than the Pac-12 does. The fighting Pac-2. I guess, should we go into the schools that we want to learn about today?
Yeah, just one more thing. Hawaii finally had their first game.
Yeah,
they won.
Dominated.
Took a while. Like we said last episode, UC Davis has already got 4 games under their belt, and Hawaii just played 1.
Maybe it's the time zones.
Right. We'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, which of our 2 schools today do you want to talk about first?
Should we start with our fighting Cal Poly Mustangs?
Yeah.
So right now, interestingly enough, they are the lowest betting odds, unfortunately, to win the conference, plus 25,000. So, bet 100, win 25 grand. I like the sound of that. So it's located San Luis Obispo County in California. Also, I found out that from doing research on the school, during the Great Depression, the California State Board of Education thought about turning the school into a prison.
Wow.
So
yeah,
they reneged against that.
Yeah, it's a mouthful too. San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, I'm not up on my California pronunciation, so hopefully I didn't completely mess that up.
Yeah, I was looking at the counties on the overall for these 2 schools that we got today, and California has huge counties. They're massive.
Big counties. Got those big old counties.
Right. So, I'm looking up famous residents of San Luis Obispo. I don't think he went to the college, but guess who I'm looking at right now. I'll give you one hint. He was in
an alumni or as a
no, just a famous person from San Luis Obispo. It was in a Disney Channel movie.
Oh, I'm gonna stink at this because I have not watched very many Disney Channel movies.
It's all right.
I don't know. Corbin Blue.
Close.
You're in the right. Too close.
You're in the right movie. I get Corbin Blue was in a few movies, but his most famous movie, you're in the right one.
What's the name of the guy who played Ryan in whatever it was, High School Musical? Since I'm assuming it's that.
Lucas
Graybiel? Lucas Graybiel, yeah.
Yeah.
Not him, I assume.
No, it's the big guy. It's T for Troy Bolton. Zac Efron.
Oh, Zac Efron. Okay.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed?
Also Ted Bundy.
Oh, brother. It's going to be a killer heavy episode, given who we're going to talk about next.
Yeah. No, I was just remarking on Zac Efron playing Ted Bundy in that one documentary.
Oh, which one? The Ted Bundy tapes or the?
No, it was like.
It was the extremely wicked, vile, and whatever.
Shockingly something. Yeah.
Yeah, where the one about him brutally, the court description of him killing a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other things I had about this, apparently they are a school that creates a float for the Rose Parade every year.
Really?
Yeah. So they do it with Cal State Pomona.
Okay.
So this also sounds like the most like stereotypical thing of like how a college started was Cal Poly, I guess, donated a new school and and farm equipment. And that started the school.
Wow, that makes sense.
Sounds like it should be like from like the 1800s, not like the 1900s when this happened.
Right. Yeah, they're really big. They're a polytechnical school, but they're really big into agriculture as well.
They're like the oldest of the 3, aren't they? The big ones in California, if I remember it right. So I learned this from watching the Barstool Yak. They had the guy who was just the Bachelor on. Apparently he went to Cal Poly. So did my research. Beautiful campus.
Yep.
Beautiful campus.
Yeah, so the California State University like collective, because most of these schools are like CSU Bakersfield, which we'll talk about later, is Cal State Bakersfield. This is Cal Poly, Cal State, or whatever. They're all under the same collective, and so they put out a YouTube channel. If you're really interested, they have a video on each of their schools talking about like what they're known for, why you should go to school there and stuff. I saw some of the aerial view of Cal Poly's campus, and it is magnificent.
Up in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
It also looks like it's only like a few miles from the beach too, which is
not that far.
Sounds very California.
Yeah, I'm not too caught up on California geography. I don't know where wine country begins and ends, but Cal Poly actually has one of the biggest and best, what's it called? Basically wine programs in the country. Let me pull it up. It's wine and viticulture. Viticulture is the study of growing grapes. So much like UK now has that Jim Beam distillery, teaching distillery for distilled spirits and stuff, Cal Poly's a really good school to learn about fermentation and food sciences and winemaking.
Didn't you want to get into the Jim Beam program too?
I did. I still, a little part of me still does. Maybe that's further down the line, but
there's always time.
Right. Yeah. In the least alcoholic way possible. I really like learning about alcohol. So it's fun. I'm enjoying learning that Cal Poly is really good at making wine, because when I do go to California, I know where to head up.
Do you want to learn some of the alumni that went to Cal Poly? So we talked about this guy before. You wouldn't think about him at all. Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah. Weird
the
Al.
umbrella, the accordion boy.
Yeah, that's so wild. Like he was the first name to come up for me too. That's like, I don't know if Cal Poly's like most proud of him being an alumni, but like Google sure is, because when I Googled Cal Poly famous alumni, he was the very first name.
Weird Al Yankovic also has to probably be like one of the least problematic celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Unless he has some strange skeleton in his closet holding an accordion.
Yeah, I told you this, but I don't think we told the listeners yet. Do you know what Weird Al's bachelor's degree is? His major was at Cal Poly?
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
Yeah, it's architecture. So I don't know. I need to read his biography if he's got one, or someone needs to make one of him. But yeah, no, Weird Al. His mom's from Kentucky also. I learned that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, his mom's from Kentucky, and he grew up kind of near there, and he studied architecture and started taking accordion lessons too.
Would anyone believe Frank Lloyd Wright and Weird Al Yankovic would be in the same sentence?
Yeah, no, we talked about how me and Ryan talked over text about how he just makes accordion-shaped houses that move with the earthquakes in California.
I mean, it would be a perfect idea.
Yeah.
If the money's there.
Very practical.
Yes. The other big alumni I had that video game guy, John Madden.
Yeah. That's such a weird school. Like, I don't know, when I think of John Madden in football, I imagine him going to like a Big Ten or an SEC school. No, it's Cal Poly.
Yeah, he screams Wisconsin to me.
Yeah.
So Ozzie Smith. If you're not up on your baseball, his most famous thing that he did, besides being one of the best St. Louis Cardinals ever, he always did backflips.
Oh wow!
He's a backflip or a front flip, one of those two. But every time when he came out to the field to start the game, he did a backflip.
That's crazy.
The other one that I put that was kind of interesting, and it fell in with some of our themes from last week, and apparently this week too. William Swanson. He was the former CEO of a U.S. military defense contractor.
Wow.
Raytheon.
Yeah, a lot of money to be made in that sector. Cal Poly, much like UC Santa Barbara, we talked about last week. UC Santa Barbara had a lot of astronaut alumni. Cal Poly's got a lot of astronaut alumni too.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, that just speaks to the integrity of the education that you get at these schools.
A lot of good astronauts too. You don't have too many astronauts anymore.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know so many of them went to school in California. I know the statistic of most of the astronauts are like from the state of Ohio and stuff like that. But I think it's cool that they're going out there and heading to these big West schools to cut their teeth and learn their engineering before they reach NASA.
I love that they're going to California from Ohio to get as far away from Ohio as possible, and then they're taking a rocket to get as far away and as fast as possible too.
Right, you're never far enough away from Ohio.
Yeah, tell us about it. Should we get to the bat? Do you have anything else on the school itself?
Let me see. Yeah, I just want to talk about, and we can even go back to the 2 schools we did last episode, talk more about what majors are known for. So like I said earlier, Cal Poly's big into wine and viticulture, and they're known for architecture, engineering, and agriculture. A lot of good land up there. California is one of the biggest food producing states like in the country. And we'll talk more about that with Bakersfield. But I think like every single avocado that is made in America, it comes from California or something like that. Oh, wow. It's some ridiculous statistic because they're the only ones with a climate that can support that.
It's kind of surprising, but it also like makes a lot of sense when you actually think about it.
Right. And to not cut UC Santa Barbara or Long Beach State out. Long Beach State, can't really remember what major they're known for, but they have a world-class art museum on their campus or near their campus, and UC Santa Barbara is also really good. Their most prominent major is, you guessed it, engineering and the sciences.
Who would have guessed? I was just looking to see exactly where Cal Poly is. Yeah, it's not quite Northern California, but it's kind of like,
no,
I guess Central California.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know how far wine country goes. So is it? I thought it was just mostly Northern California, but I could be wrong.
If you're in the wine industry, responsibly hit us up.
Yes.
And drink responsibly, of course.
Yes, we're both over 21. We promise.
Yes, even though I don't look like I'm 21. Got to look young while you still can.
Yeah, our birth year starts with 19, so we're cool.
Yes. Should we get into the basketball of Cal Poly?
Yeah.
So their head coach is a guy by the name of John Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get a much more basic name than that.
I know. That's like, isn't that the male protagonist in
Pocahontas?
Pocahontas, yeah.
Yes,
like
in fact,
Disney movies.
Actually, yeah, it is Pocahontas. I don't know why I was thinking of something else. It's his 4th season at the helm of the Mustangs, which also they share the nickname of my high school, the Mustangs.
Nice.
John Smith, I couldn't really find too much about him appears to be his first like big job at Cal Poly. I think the only other one I saw was like San Bernardino Valley or something like that.
Yeah, San Bernardino Valley, Riverside CC, which I assume stands for community college.
I think it'd be safe to assume that.
Yeah, so he stayed in the Big West. His last job, 2013 to 2019, he was an assistant at Cal State Fullerton.
Oh,
so yeah, so he's got experience in the Big West, but yeah, this is his like you said, 4th or 5th year as the head honcho of a team.
So let's see. The best season they've had is 2014. They won the conference tournament, and they made the NCAA tournament.
Nice.
I don't think they won. I'll have to look a little bit, but maybe you can. They were in the play-in game, and they would have, if they won, they played Wichita State.
Yeah, that was,
and then got bounced by some team in Lexington.
Yeah, I was just about to tell you that was the year. So they won their first 4 end game to be the 16 seed against Wichita State, which unfortunately for them at that point in time, we hadn't had any 16 over 1 seeds upsets, and now we've got 2 in a short span. So I'm excited for more of those. But yeah, so they chalked up, get beat by the number 1 seed overall, and then the number 1 seed overall gets bounced by our favorite basketball team from our state.
Yes, and an 8 seed at the time to make it even better. They have won the regular season only 10 times. But they had never actually won the Big West up to they've never been the regular season champ when they have been in the Big West.
Wow.
So wherever they were before, they were winning all the time, I guess. The biggest thing that I've found is, so we are on the other side now of the blue-green rivalry with our friends, the Gauchos.
Yep.
Gouch up.
Yeah, so we're excited to see this rivalry shake out this year. And keep in mind the dates. They're playing a home and home this year. It's January 6th. I think they're playing at Cal Poly, and Leap Day, February 29th. They're playing at Santa Barbara, or the reverse of that. I can't remember exactly, but those are the dates, January 6th and February 29th.
So I've been looking at this rivalry because I actually kind of wanted to know something about it. Apparently, it's billed as the greatest rivalry in NCAA soccer history.
Okay.
I'll take their word for it because I do not watch college soccer. So now that might be the only game I watch is that one.
Yo, I love a good derby. So if that's the greatest rivalry, I definitely want to check that out. I didn't know you were going to bring up soccer. So you started that sentence by the greatest rivalry in college, and I was already in the mood to shake my head. I was like, I love the Big West. Trust me, I do, but I don't think so. But in soccer, possibly.
So yeah, that. So how about that for a little bit of trivia?
That's crazy.
So from what I see, they're bringing in mostly a new team. They only have about 6 returning players.
Okay.
A few of their transfers, well, the 3 of them we talked about last time. We got Jared Hyder. He's the headline getter because he's from Cal.
Yeah.
Speaking of earthquakes. Paul Bizamana, he came from Eastern Illinois. And Joel Armatrading. Yeah, our boy. He came from one from England. So he came. Okay, so seeing this was very strange when I was doing my my notes for this. Born in London, or at least is billed from London, England. Before he went to Cal Poly, he went to the College of Southern Idaho. How did you end up there?
That's such a neck-breaking culture shock.
England to Idaho.
Yeah, I mean, he probably ate a lot of potatoes in England, so at least that was a little bit in common. But yeah, no, that's got to be incredibly different. That's London's okay. So to put this into perspective, one thing I do know about London is that it is twice as big as New York City.
Oh, it's massive.
Yeah, and going from a city that's twice as big as New York City to southern Idaho, which I don't know how big. Even Boise would seem like, Boise would seem like a neighborhood to him, I kind
of want to know which neighborhood he grew up in.
Right.
Or what football club he supports.
Yeah. Which Premier
Is he a Chelsea boy?
Yeah.
Chelsea? Is he a fan of Arsenal? So yeah, right now they're sitting at 1-2. Their big win over Laverne, lost to Denver and Wyoming. So that's what we're looking at so far.
Mm-hmm.
Non-conference, you already mentioned it. They got our boys up at our hated boys at Portland State. Yeah, and they also get to go up into Chainsaw Land and play Oregon State.
Wow. Okay.
So I mentioned this. They're big guys. I pretty much mentioned Kobe Sanders, Isaac Spears, and Quentin Jones. Those are the the big guys that are going to be getting a lot of the minutes, getting a lot of the points. Which I'm hoping that they can do something, because I would like their odds to go from 25,000 to maybe minus 25,000. That'd be even better.
Yeah, they'll hit their stride eventually.
The other big player that I noticed on their team is they got a Finnish guy on their team, Tuukka Jakola. Yeah, he's been starting to get a lot more minutes lately. He's also big, so that kind of helps, given that arm trading is like their only big guy.
Him in arm trading. I just saw that as soon as you said he's big. They're 6'10". Wow,
brother. Even for record, so like even Hunter Dickinson that plays for Kansas is like 7'1". But these guys are units.
Yeah, and even Paul Bizamana, he's 6'9". See, who's the shortest guy? All of their players are above 6 foot. Nope, I take that back. There's one guy who's 5'10".
Well, that's 6 feet. Don't ask any. Right. Don't ask your wife, but yeah, 6 feet. There's a difference.
Right.
Do you have any other things that you would that need to be addressed about our friends over at Cal Poly?
No, I'm excited to see the rivalry games. If anybody listening to this goes to Cal Poly, please tell us. Let us know how campus is, how campus life is.
Send us your merch.
Yeah, I want to know more about the college. Like, no, never mind. It's the next school. I keep getting them mixed up. Yeah, they're super cool. I'm excited to see them.
So I guess we might as well rip the murder Band-Aid off with the next school we're going to talk about. My friends, my boys, my girls, however you self-identify, at Cal State Bakersfield, the Roadrunners.
The Runners.
Plus 5,000 to win the conference. So not looking great, but you know what? We look optimistic. Roadrunners only go forward.
Right.
So based on their name, I think you could probably guess where they're located.
Yeah, they're in Bakersfield, California, which is in Kern County. That's Kern, Kern County. It's actually
makes me think of Brad Kern, our trombone studio professor.
Yeah, and it borders San Luis Obispo County. So, and it's kind of above it. For those of you like me who aren't great at California geography, it's a little bit above Los Angeles. Like You've got Los Angeles County, and then the next county above is Kern County. A few cool things I learned about Kern County. There's an Air Force base there in the 40, I believe it was 47. Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier at that Air Force base right outside of Bakersfield.
Did that in a car, didn't he? Or was the one that they did in a car?
That was
in Death Valley.
It was either in Death Valley or the Salt Flats.
Probably the Salt Flats, because it was probably more open and flat. Hence the name.
No, Chuck Yeager did it in a plane.
That's pretty impressive, though.
Yeah.
We don't hear very many records like that getting broken anymore.
Right.
So I found out the university was established in 1965, so it's like a pretty recent school.
Wow.
And it has officially been known as Cal State Bakersfield since 1968. Through looking through some of their academics, I found that they're the only public university that is west of the Rocky Mountains that offers a program in petroleum geology.
Wow.
So I'm assuming that involves fracking and shale and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so Bakersfield is a super big college on agriculture and geography and geology, stuff like that. They are also, there's a lot of land out there. That's why you can have an Air Force base where they can break the sound barrier. It is the only 4-year university, public university, within 100 miles.
How about that?
Yeah. So they are kind of on an island here, which, if you're thinking about it, does that help or hurt them when it comes to basketball? Because, like, yeah, if they're playing at home, another team has got to drive at least 100 miles to get to them. Now, maybe that's not that much of a drive, maybe, but if you're driving that long, it might tire out your legs. I'm not sure if they're staying in Bakersfield or if they're doing an overnight, like go there, play the game, come back. That might be taxing on some players.
It's definitely a long trek, depending on where you're going in Bakersfield. So, do we want to talk about some of their rather famous or infamous alumni?
Yeah, go ahead.
So should we start with the famous or the infamous first?
Oh, give me the bad news first, baby.
Okay, so the first person when I was looking up famous alumni, which is funny that the first person they came up with is somebody who killed a bunch of people. Vincent Brothers, I believe his name is. He was an American mass murderer. Went to Cal State Bakersfield. Disavow.
Wow. Did he have like a name? Like
I do not believe he did.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if he was like the son of Sam or like had a name like that.
Yeah, so confirmed not a good guy. Firmly disavow Vincent Brothers. Speaking of infamous, but not like that, Kevin McCarthy, from former Speaker of the House.
Wow. Okay.
Which is pretty impressive, given that it's a pretty recent school to exist, and they have somebody who held that much power already.
Right.
So, congrats, Kevin McCarthy. Good job. Definitely not something that he's heard in a long time. Some other famous alumni we have Gyazi Zardes. He played for the U.S. men's national team.
Okay.
And plays for the Columbus Crew, I believe.
Yeah, like currently?
I believe so.
Wow, they're doing well in the playoffs as far as I know. I don't know if they beat Atlanta like in the series or just in a game, but they scored last game that I heard of, they scored like 4 goals in that game.
Yeah, that's okay, I guess. Other big alumni we have here, we have Tito Ortiz. He was a big UFC fighter.
Okay.
Around the same time as Chuck Liddell. Let's see. Then one other guy I had on here is Stephen Neal. He was a world champion wrestler. Okay. Which is also surprising because I would not have thought of Southern California with championship wrestlers.
Really? Well, I know wrestling was really big in like Hawaii and stuff. That's kind of like where The Rock and a whole bunch of people got started. So I don't know. It might not be that big of a stretch. But I also see Austin Davis went to Bakersfield.
Oh, the Phillies.
Yeah, he's a pitcher. It looks like he's played for the Red Sox and the Astros too.
It's pretty good. Pretty good teams to be on.
Yeah. More baseball players. That's what we've noticed. A lot of baseball players coming out of these Big West teams, schools.
Which makes sense given how warm it is around the clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we get into the basketball with our friends at Cal State Bakersfield?
Yeah, I got one more thing to talk about.
Lay it on me.
Goes along about with their agriculture. So apparently, we talked about how San Luis Obispo was really good at winemaking, and we talked about how California is one of the biggest food producers. Kern County in California, where Bakersfield is the number 1 food producing county in the country.
Really?
Yes. So a lot of good farmers, a lot of agriculture innovation going on. That I watched one of their YouTube videos that the Cal State Collective put out, and that's what they talked about, just innovation that they're trying in agriculture.
Is that by amount of food or diversity of food?
I think it's amount.
Oh, geez, I would not have guessed that.
I could be wrong, but that's like I said. California counties are huge. I didn't believe it at first, but when I looked at the county, I was like, yeah, that county's like, I don't know, I might be wrong, but I was like, it would take up a sizable chunk of like Iowa. I know Iowa probably beats them out in like corn production and stuff like that, but that county is massive.
I'll take your word for it. I would never would have guessed that, but hey, you learn something new every day. Speaking of things things you learn every day, I did not know, and this will be important for you, Lucas. Happy Steve Irwin Day.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I love Steve Irwin. I grew up watching The Crocodile Hunter, and when he passed away, I can't remember how old I was, but I was little, and my mom had to like physically carry me out of a restaurant because when I found out I was inconsolable. Yeah, I was inconsolable. It was awful. But
oh no,
Steve Irwin really led me to appreciate loving animals, and that's why one of my favorite things to do is go to zoos. So
my guy got engaged at a zoo or an aquarium rather.
Yeah, we went to the Georgia Aquarium. My wife loves sea otters, so I had the sea otters were paid actors to help me, and she said yes.
Even better. Also, shout out the Erie Otters.
Yeah,
they're now favorite junior league hockey team. That located in sunny and probably currently snowy Erie, Pennsylvania. Should we get into the basketball? Also, still shout out Cal State Bakersfield because your athletic ticket office followed us first. So
yes, keep it coming.
You are our favorites, and I you're my favorite at least, and I love you. So they are head coached by Rod Barnes. 10th season. Used to be the head coach at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Never really think of Ole Miss for basketball, but you know what? This guy knows what he's.
Yeah, he was a hometown hire for them too. He played for Ole Miss.
Which I kind of wonder how he ended up in. How his path took him to Cal Bakersfield.
Not sure. I'm looking at his coaching career. So, played at Ole Miss. His first job with the basketball team was assistant at West Alabama. Then he became an assistant at Ole Miss, head coach of Ole Miss, assistant at Oklahoma, head coach at Georgia State, and then head coach at Bakersfield.
Oh, a good fun little trip around the country for him.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of experience, that's for sure.
So in terms of a basketball program, they have been pretty successful, at least on the D2 level.
Mm-hmm.
They won the D2 title 3 times, the national title.
Wow.
They've pretty much been a power in D2. So they've been to the Final Four 8 times, the Elite 8 9 times, and the NCAA tournament 21 times.
Jeez.
So they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they got banners hanging in their rafters.
Their first Division I NCAA tournament appearance came in 2016.
Okay.
And they got bounced by I believe the Buddy Hield led Oklahoma Sooners.
Oh no!
Which no shame in that because Buddy Hield was, I believe, National Player of the Year.
Yeah, and he went on to go play in the NBA. So
it's honestly his loss that he didn't play for Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah, would you say that's a moral victory for them, Ryan, or does that make your skin crawl?
I hate that term with a burning passion. That's NIT talk. That is a term that will not be used on here, or you go to prison and jail.
Yeah,
whichever one we can get you in quicker.
Yeah, moral victories don't have a spot in the columns. It's only wins or losses.
Yes, correct. Bakersfield. They've returned only 7 players. They're pretty active in the transfer portal. They brought in Kadar Waller from Mississippi Valley State. Mississippi Valley State, I believe their other big alumni is Dennis Rodman.
What a guy.
Yeah, quite a character. Cameron Wilbon from Sacramento State. And then Jaden Alexander from New Mexico State.
Nice.
I like that. They're obviously major players. Our guy, Caleb Higgins. Love him.
Yes. They what was their last game? How many points did he score in their last game?
I'm gonna guess a lot because he tends to do that.
Right.
While we're looking that up, I noticed a couple of their major non-conference games. Listen, they're gonna have a rough time. They get Gonzaga, but they play basketball at a acceptable level.
Right. I was close on my player
Fresno
prop.
State.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, go ahead.
No, I was close on my player prop. I said Caleb Higgins plus 24.5 points. He wound up with 22. So I was close.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So even against a good, not a ranked Cal team, but still a good team, put up 22 points there.
Oh yeah. By the way, turns out I was wrong about who went to Mississippi Valley State. There is one person who actually did come out of there, and I don't think he amounted to anything. Some guy named Jerry Rice.
Oh no!
I don't know if he ever did anything important.
Only time can tell.
Yeah, the jury's out on whether he was any good or not. Anything else you have on Cal State Bakersfield other than there are guys?
No, I think that's all I had on them. I love the Roadrunner mascot. We talked about their agriculture. We talked about them being on an island. I love their color scheme. The blue and yellow just goes so well together.
It's very pleasing to look at.
Mm-hmm.
I try to remember if they had a funny name for their basketball arena. Since we found out last week that the Gauchos play in the Thunderdome.
The Thunderdome. Yeah. Also, by watching one of the YouTube videos, I found out. So, like, a lot of schools have this. They have like a statue of their mascot. We have the Wildcat. Florida has the Bull Gator, stuff like that. The Roadrunners do in fact have a statue of a Roadrunner outside of one of their buildings.
Is it like the Looney Tunes? Does it look like the Looney Tunes Roadrunner, or does it look like an actual like bird?
No, it looks legit, but I can only imagine what happens at their games. Like, I wonder if they've ever dressed up as like the Looney Tunes Roadrunner. That would have been a great if we had been in their student section or band. That would have been a great free throw distraction. Is just the me.
Yeah, they'll dress up the Gaucho will be dressed up like Wile E. Coyote, and they'll like drop an anvil on his head.
Yeah. The student section just like paints a wall to look like a tunnel, and the Gaucho runs into it.
We have to. By the way, we have to get up on our Gaucho game. What was the Gaucho's name again?
I think it's just the Gaucho.
The Gaucho.
Yeah,
it's like the New York Times.
Right.
There can only be one Gaucho. Oh my goodness!
It's like they have to fist fight like when a new Gaucho approaches, and like the student who plays the Gaucho is graduating or something. Somebody's got to beat him in hand-to-hand combat before he goes.
He does have a name. He does have a name. They're very good. His official name is Olay.
Oh, that's right.
OLE.
His belt buckle says
His big belt buckle. His comically large belt buckle.
Yeah. Olay the Gaucho.
I do like some of the unofficial names for him. They have the Phantom of the Dome.
Okay, that's like
Phantom spelled Phantom. Not even like like a ghostly spirit.
Oh no, I like that. That's like low key badass though. The Phantom of the Dome.
Although looking at him, he would haunt me in my dreams.
Yeah, I wonder if he's ever showed up to a game wearing like the Phantom of the Opera mask.
That might be problematic. Since actually, have you seen Phantom?
If I have, it's been a while. Like,
yeah, Phantom. He kills multiple people.
oh well, I mean, don't they have no? That's Bakersfield. I was about to say, I was like, don't they have alumni that does that?
Well, I'm sure a lot of these places have.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah, every school probably has somebody that has done very bad things.
Once again, we disavow Vincent Brothers.
Yes.
Should we get with all that said? Should we get to the conference preview?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh my god. So we are recording this on November 15th. There are no games. Sad day.
Too sad.
But it's also a good day because that means I can go to sleep.
Right.
So tomorrow, November 16th, we have St. Catherine playing our boys at Cal State Bakersfield. And then Cal State Fullerton is at the University of Central Florida. Is it also true that Central Florida has the largest enrollment of a public school in the entire United States?
I'm not sure, but it wouldn't surprise me. They are the self-proclaimed Space U, which we know to be false because we've already looked at 2 schools in the Big West that have a lot of astronaut alumni. So they at least have to contest that claim before they make it.
Show us your knots. Show us your knots, Florida.
Yeah.
November 17th, that'd be Friday. We have one of my picks. Cal Poly is at St. Thomas. Go Mustangs. Go take down those boys at St. Thomas.
Right. Do you know what that game is a part of? Like it's not really a tournament, but it's a round robin. Do you know what they called it?
I have no idea. It's probably like the Mustang Classic or something.
No, it's super cool. It's called the Lancer Joust.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know whose mascot is like the Lancers or whatever, but they're playing in St. Thomas. So I don't know if they're doing home and homes or not, but I looked at it. There's a few teams in this like round robin, and Cal Poly's one of them. But yeah, it's called the Lancer Joust.
Oh, I guess California Baptist must be the Lancers.
Okay, cool.
Because that's who's hosting it. Is them? Oh my! Look, when you get during this, go look up Cal Baptist mascot. It is awesome.
You're right. The game information says the game's in Riverside, California, but St. Thomas is there has to be a home team, so St. Thomas is the home team.
Yes.
What'd you say to look up?
Look up the mascot for California Baptist.
All right.
So another big game that's happening this week is UC Riverside is visiting the Tar Heels of North Carolina. Things may not be looking very good there because North Carolina is very good, but USC was very good too, allegedly, and they got knocked off their perch by UC Irvine. So yeah, it's possible.
I love the name of Cal Baptist, the Lancers, but their knight looks their mascot knight. He looks like a carbon copy of UCF's knight.
Yeah, but they have fake astronauts at Central Florida.
Yeah,
probably not even a real knight.
Right. They're UCF might be like Disney U, but
yeah,
we've at least got some competition for Space U.
That's true. Saturday, that is my other pick, which is UC San Diego over the United States Naval Academy. So, sorry to the midshipmen and those who serve in the Navy, but
yep, yeah, it's no longer
your boy needs to go 2-0 here.
Right. Yeah, I'm sitting at 1-1. He has a chance to take a 1-game lead over me. It's not Veterans Day anymore, so you can in fact cheer against a service academy, and it is not hating on the troops anymore.
Yes, you can't. You officially you officially can root against the service academies.
Yeah. Also, we forgot to mention last episode. We filmed last episode on Veterans Day. Happy late Veterans Day to all the high school JROTC kids that made the military their entire personality and then didn't join once they graduated.
Oh, geez.
I knew some kids like that. It was awful.
Yeah, I can imagine that. So, other games, there's not a lot of home games coming up in the next week. We're getting toward feast week, where all the big tournaments start happening. So I know some of you are going to be watching the Hawaii tip-off, whatever it's called, the Hawaii tip-off tournament or whatever it is.
Right.
Folks, you need to be getting under the radar here. This is where you find the gold of college basketball. So some other fun games that are coming up. You have Cal State Fullerton against Cornell. Heads up, Ivy League.
Wow, that's a distance and a half. Hawaii's next game tomorrow is
most games for Hawaii are a distance.
True, but so they're playing a team from Niagara.
Niagara.
Yeah.
Talk about a hike. That I'm assuming it is Niagara, New York.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh yeah, Lewiston, New York. So yeah, that's got to be the longest, one of the longest possible flights that Hawaii could take.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need at least one layover, maybe two. They might be laying over in Chicago, might be laying over definitely in probably like LAX. But good. That spells good news for Hawaii. They might get an easy win. That team is 0-2. So,
you think they'll be flying Allegiant?
Oh God, I don't think an Allegiant plane could make that trip.
Is it just because of the distance, or because the plane physically won't make it?
Well, the plane is held together by duct tape, so I think. Yeah, I think anytime you're going over a body of water in an Allegiant plane, you're counting your blessings. That's for sure.
Unless Allegiant sponsors us, then they make their planes with the highest quality material.
Yes, everyone should go visit Las Vegas. I did see a really cool plane. So I work at the airport, and
they've never had a problem where they tried to bring in another plane, and it had the exact same issue as the last one.
Oh yeah, that. My lawyer has advised me not to finish that joke, in fear of Allegiant might sponsor us. Probably yes. Not, but maybe. You never know. You never know.
The numbies up.
Yeah, they've been desperate for other things.
Oh, brother.
They did bring a plane in from Las Vegas that was their normal color palette is blue and orange.
Indeed.
But they brought in a Vegas Raiders plane. It was all decked out in black and silver, and it had the Raiders logo on the back tail. It was actually one of the coolest planes I've seen.
That's pretty awesome, actually. Oh yeah, so Fullerton, they're playing in the Jacksonville Classic. Okay. It appears none of the schools that are involved in this are from Jacksonville, unless
they're just going on vacation.
Unless there is a Jacksonville, Utah.
Oh yeah,
that's where the only Waffle House is in Utah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Waffle House if you want to sponsor us. I'll be very happy to take your money.
If they don't have a Waffle House, they might have a Swig.
Yes, it's Swig if you're interested.
Yeah,
we know you got that. Yeah, you got the money.
I've never had a dirty Dr. Pepper before, so if anybody wants to, we will do a live stream of if Swig sponsors us. I'll do a live stream of my first taste of a dirty Dr. Pepper for everyone to see.
The dirty Dr. Pepper sounds oddly erotic. So yeah, So the Jacksonville Classic also has Utah Valley, so we'll be playing either Utah Valley or Southern Miss, the fighting Brett Favre's.
Yeah.
So some other games we might see coming up this week. I'm kind of interested in Long Beach State against either Iona, the former fighting Rick Pitino's.
Okay.
And against High Point. Another interesting game that I could see becoming interesting, at least for us. UC Irvine is playing Pepperdine. Pepperdine has to try to avoid getting knocked off their perch by the Big West.
Yeah, much like how we can't seem to find a win against Portland. If they can get that win over Pepperdine loses to UC Davis, and who is it? UC Irvine, you said?
Yes, UC Irvine.
So yeah, hopefully we can do to Pepperdine what Portland is currently doing to us.
They're playing in the Ball Dogs Classic.
The Ball Dogs?
Yeah, spelled DAWGS, of course. Because in case you were wondering if there's another way to spell dogs.
Oh, okay. I thought you said B instead of D, and so I was like, Bogs?
Yeah, they're playing the Bogs. They're playing a place to get cranberries.
Yeah. And if you say it all together,
no.
It almost like
to go.
Yeah, it almost sounds like you're saying the Bald Dogs Classic.
Oh no. They're having a rough time.
Yeah, it's a charity event for hairless dogs.
Oh, geez. So other teams in this tournament include Indiana State, the fighting Sycamores, and the fighting Larry Birds.
Oh,
Larry Bird went to Indiana State.
Yeah, known baseball school.
Indeed, and they're playing the Lobos of New Mexico, and also involved are the Lobos of New Mexico.
Sweet.
Yeah, let us know. Almost a local game for me. Cal State Bakersfield could play either Tarleton State or Austin Peay.
Yep.
Austin Peay, a great athletics website name. Let's go Peay. I'm sure plenty of people have said that involving their games.
Yep. I've heard some other things, but in order to maintain the monetization hopes of this channel, my lawyer has informed me not to finish that joke.
Yeah, we'll say them off air. Thank you.
Yeah, that's for Twitch.
Yes, that'll be for the Twitch stream.
Yeah,
Twitch stream is live, by the way.
Yeah,
not awesome. Right as we're not while this video is out, but we do have the stream now.
Right. Yeah. Eventually, we'll be doing some live streams. Hopefully, trying Dirty Dr. Peppers.
Yes.
Let us know, by the way, which one of these like tournaments sounds the best. Is it the Ball Dogs or is it the Lance Jousters?
The Lance Jousters just sounds like an awesome name.
Yeah.
Might put that on a poll on the Instagram. We'll see.
Let's go.
That we probably will, because I'm the one that has to do that. Any other games that look like they could be interesting?
No. I'm just really impressed with UC San Diego. I know you already talked about how they're playing the Naval Academy. They're 3-0. We had talked about UC Davis possibly going 3-0. They didn't manage that, but they're 3-1, so they've managed to turn that around. I love how good UC San Diego's been, and I'm sad because for those that don't know, they can't participate in tournaments for another year. Because
that's a bummer.
Yeah, they moved from D2 to the Big West, and because of NCAA rules, they can't participate in postseason shenanigans for a little bit, for a probationary period. And they're drawing the short stick here because they're doing well. Like, there's still a lot of season play, and I recognize that. But starting off 3-0 after moving up to the next division above, that's no small feat. Like, and I know it wasn't just last year. They've been D1 since 2020, I believe, or 2021.
Yes, 2020.
But still, you're only 3 or 4 years out from moving up divisions. You still got to recruit your guys. You still got to get transfers in, and here they are sitting undefeated currently.
Yeah, this is one I don't really care if we don't get sponsored by them. That's the stupidest rule that the NCAA has.
No, by far.
They can play. Let them play.
Yeah, we've seen it with other teams too that deserve postseasons. James Madison, Bellarmine in basketball the other year won their conference tournament, should have gotten an auto bid to the NCAA tournament, couldn't play. Is James Madison getting that in football? They can't go to a bowl game, or am I wrong about that?
Correct. They cannot play in a bowl game.
Yeah, and that's dumb, and they're undefeated.
Yeah, they. Except my brother does not like James Madison, given that he went to Delaware.
Oh, okay.
Noted rivals, Delaware and James Madison. If you like watching Colonial Athletic Association football.
Incredible. I didn't know Blue Hens and Bulldogs had such a bad blood.
Love the Blue Hens. Don't recall any presidents going to James Madison, but there is one that went to Delaware. Yeah, a Super Bowl quarterback and a president both went to Delaware.
Yep. Not
too many schools can say that. So, with all that said, should we get to the picks?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to focus on the week of November 19th to the 25th, feast week. And since you started last time, I think I'll start first.
Okay.
So as usual, even though for this normally we pick a road game and a home game, but since it is mostly neutral site, you can pick whatever we want.
Okay.
So my first pick, I am going to go with, you know what? I will take the Anteaters of UC Irvine to take down those bums at Pepperdine. Okay. UC Irvine's hot. Let's ride the hot hand.
Fair enough. What week did you say we're focusing on?
Feast week. That'll be next week.
Next week.
November 19th to the 25th.
19th through the 25th. Okay. I'm going to the Gulf Coast showcase here on 11/20, November 20th. I'm taking Long Beach State over Illinois State. Battle of the States, and the beach is longer, baby.
Illinois, in fact, not a state.
Yeah.
Long Beach is.
Long Beach is a state. It's big enough.
Indeed. Yeah, no kidding. My other one, I'm going to take the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii over Northern Arizona. You got to love a little bit of basketball late into the night. And Hawaii are the ones that are going to get it done.
Excellent. All right. And for my final one, I'm taking CSU Northridge over Lemoyne. Currently, they have opposite schedules. Lemoyne sitting at 1-2, Northridge sitting at 2-1. That might be a little bit of an low-hanging fruit, but it is during the week that we set for these picks. So I'm going to take it.
Yeah, considering I took kind of low-hanging fruit this week, it's all is fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to – if Ryan takes that one-game lead over me, I got to get back somehow.
Indeed. Any other points that you think we missed?
No, I think we're pretty set. Yeah, once again, the biggest thing we had to talk about this episode was that incredible upset over USC. A lot of good things shaking out in the Big West. And do we want to decide, give a little bit of a preview as to what they can expect for next week? What schools do we want to talk about next week?
Well, we have 7 left that we haven't talked about, right?
Yes.
Should we just run down the ABC order here and run with the Titans at Fullerton and our and our doors at Cal State
Northridge.
Cal State Northridge.
Yeah, I think that's fun. So yeah, look for that next time. We'll be talking about, like you said, Fullerton and Northridge. If you've got anything that you want to know about these schools or colleges that we haven't been talking about, normally we've been talking about famous alumni, famous people from those cities, what majors they're known for, what their basketball teams like. If you want to learn other things, just mention it to us on the socials, and we'll try to incorporate that in our shows. We want the people to know what they want to know.
Yeah, we are still interested in doing the deep dives into this.
Yeah.
So far, we're only about ankle deep. We want to get chest deep in the muck here.
Yeah.
So anyway, like the socials at Beach and Ball Show on Instagram, beach.and.ball on TikTok. If anything, you can find the link tree in on the Instagram. So with that being said, I'm Ryan.
I'm Lucas.
This has been Beach and Ball. Peace, love. Go enjoy the beach. Go enjoy the ball.
Heck yeah.